again, I felt like that played a really good first half. I liked the way that we come out and started the game on both sides of the ball. I think they had 85 yards of total offense at halftime, and then we scored on our opening 3 drives. And I really felt like there was just a slight, I know most people don't recognize it, but I felt like there was a little bit of a slight momentum shift when we missed the field goal, and then they were able to go down. And now it's 21-3 instead of 24-0, and it makes it's a big deal because it's either a 3-score game and you got to convert 3 2-point conversions to tie the game back up. And I just felt like that you could just kind of feel just them just kind of like when we missed it, they just kind of got a little bit of energy from that, and then was able to go down and capitalize with a field goal of their own. I just knew that I have great respect for Southern Utah and Coach Fitzgerald, and I knew that they weren't going to go away, and they did exactly what I watch them do every single game. They just keep fighting, keep playing hard, and that's exactly what happened. And it came down to you got to get a break or two, and we were able to get a break at the end of the football game and hold on for a big win. Very proud of our players and our staff. We've positioned ourselves to where we're in control of our own destiny, so it was a big win.
Talking about last night game, it kind of felt the expectations coming off a bye week are usually teams are worried about starting slow. Seems like it was the opposite for you guys. You guys started real quick, going up 21-0. But then the second half, that's where it seemed to catch up to you guys.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about that and how strange that can be.
It's just, football is a game of momentum changes and highs and lows. And the biggest thing is you just can't let your high get too high, your low get too low. That's why I think sometimes it can lead to inconsistency. We've talked to our players about that and my staff. And, man, we want to become a consistent football team that – you got to come out, and we talked about it at halftime. We got to come out, we got to score 3 times on offense, and we got to force some turnovers in the second half to be able to, to ensure victory. And we came out, didn't start as fast as we did in the first half. And again, it boils down to the red zone. We had 7 opportunities in the red zone. We converted on 4 of those 7, which was not typical of what we have done most of the year. Going into that game, we were scoring 79% of the available points in the red zone. So to come up empty-handed 3 series in the red zone, man, it was really probably the single biggest difference in the game.
And you talked about Southern Utah was picked 3rd at the beginning of the conference. You guys kind of shut them down in the entire first half. What kind of big changes did there seem to be compared to the first half to the second half, because their offense kind of was able to find that groove?
They really, the big thing is I think that we gave up the big run, and then obviously one of the touchdowns came off of the interception. So it wasn't so much that they did so much anything different other than the fact they had the one big play that led to a touchdown, and then they converted a couple of big 3rd downs and a penalty. We had a penalty that led to their other scoring drive to extend it, and we needed to get off the field on 3rd and 6. We had 2 different opportunities in that drive that they scored, and we didn't do it, and that was the difference. So one big play and a conversion of 2 3rd downs to extend a drive. Other than that, you hold them to 17 points, and you got to feel good about that. And I was proud of the way our guys played defensively. We're playing more consistent the last 2 weeks of the season for sure. And now we got to take that on the road and play the same.
And it's same story this week, different names. I mean, you get JJ, you get Cleveland the 3rd, then you get Isaiah Johnson putting up a couple of touchdowns like he did.
Yeah.
Just seems like every week it's a new person stepping up, getting more reps, getting their name out there a little bit more. How cool is that to see that some more players were able to step up and contribute?
Yeah, it's really been that way all year long, and I mean, I like it because one, it shows the balance of our offense. I mean, who are you going to try to take away? I mean, is it the wide receivers? Is it the running backs? Is it the tight ends? I mean, it's just a matter of, I think it shows a great balance within our offense that, they just take what the defense gives them. And we don't try to force the ball to one certain player. And I think that diversity is what makes us successful on offense.
Going on, you kind of completed one of your goals this year is going 4-1 at home. And then it was a special win because it was a senior day, obviously. How good did it feel to be able to accomplish that goal and get a big win for the last game for the seniors at Wildcats?
That's right. I mean, we talk about this all the time. One, we want to go undefeated at home, like you said, and in the 3 years that I've been here, they're 11-4, so they've won 11 of 15 home games during their time with our staff, and they're 18-9 versus non-FBS opponents, and what's even more impressive, I mean, when you look at those 9 losses, I think 6 of them were by, I think 3 of them were 3-point losses and a 1-point loss, and I guess, it just speaks to what they've been able to do. They bought into our coaching staff and what we've been trying to get across. So very proud of all those seniors. It was great to send them out of here winners on senior day. Now we move on to our second goal every year, and that's to be the conference champions, and that's never going to change as long as I'm the head football coach. And we don't shy away from talking about it. We got 2 very important games. We got the defending conference champions this week. Then we have the runner-up the following week from a year ago. So, 2 big games to finish the season conference play-wise. And then, I think that's what we're talking about. I mean, we want to go on the road. We want to play well, and to do that, it's going to take 60 minutes and then some, and it's going to take a consistent performance 2 consecutive weeks.
And talking about Austin Peay, what kind of challenges do they pose as a team? Especially, seems like anyone in this conference can beat anyone else.
That's right, and they're still the defending champion until someone else is crowned champion, correct? And I mean, they're very explosive offensively. They got 2 explosive wide receivers, small, fast guys that can take a negative yardage route and turn it into a 50-plus yard gain or a touchdown in a hurry. So we got to make sure that we continue to build upon what we've really emphasized over the last month of the season, and that is, stop the run and stay sound vertical and eliminate explosive plays. And if we do that, we'll continue to position ourselves to win.
And for the last really 3 weeks of the season, you guys are on the road. You gotta be road warriors. Come away kind of upsetting teams at home. Talk about the difficulties that could have and how kind of good it feels to be able to go on the road and it's just you guys, not worrying about distractions.
Yeah, I think it's how you approach it. We're not really worried about that. We've played well on the road for the most part since I've been here. I will say this, that we don't even consider Tarleton a road game. It's right down the street. So I mean, it's just to me, it's all about the approach. It's stay focused on what you can control. We can't control that. We got to play 3 games on the road per se. So why not focus on what it's going to take to win those 3 games? So that's where our focus is, and we're not going to talk anything about it. We really don't care. We're going to get prepared, and we're going to go, and we're going to compete at a very high level, and we fully expect to be in both these upcoming road games in conference, and excited for the challenge.
Yeah, that's right.
So, this is handled, you send the seniors off right, and I know originally you had a goal of winning all of your home games. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but you still went 4-1, which was, I guess, your next goal. How much pride does it give you as a coach knowing that you and the team accomplished the goal that you really set for the team? Well,
I just think, it's like I tell them all the time, if you aim at nothing, you'll surely hit it. And so I think to be able, I tell them, if you can protect your home record, you're going to play meaningful football in the month of November. So it holds true, right? Like 4-1 at home. Last year we didn't play as well at home. We went 3-2, I believe, at home, if I'm not mistaken. So a year ago we were 3-2, and we were not really in the conference race without some help. Where this year, just like year one, you play for a conference championship. I think the same thing. We went 4-1 at home. So if you can win at home, you position yourself to play meaningful football in November, and here we are. 2 games to play in conference, and we're in control of our own destiny. Go 2-0 the next 2 weeks, and you'll be the conference champion. So we're not focusing on being the conference champion. We're focusing on what it's going to take to win each one of those games.
And things got a little closer to comfort in this last game. Not exactly the cleanest of lanes, as we would say, but what do you think could be done going forward to avoid teams closing the margin like that?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, championship teams win games like that. I referred to the year Baylor when I was at Texas Tech. Baylor basically we ended the game exactly the way that game ended the other day. It was 20-20, and we go to overtime. We kick a field goal in the first overtime. Baylor on the very first play had a snap just exactly like what you saw right there. Our nose guard recovers it. They had a play right at the goal line against Oklahoma State that year, and I just remember teams win championships. And it's like there's plays that happen throughout the course of that championship run in every conference. There's going to be, I don't care what conference it is, people are going to point back to 1 or 2 or 3 plays a game that are going to make the difference. Every champion, there'll be 3 or 4 plays that if it would have went the other way, probably the outcome would have gone the other way. So we really, it's just one of those things. A win is a win. You don't get style points in football for winning. We don't look at it. We've already corrected everything that we got to correct, and we've already moved on to Austin Peay, and that's going to be our focus.
You got these 3 road games, and then you mentioned you have a goal, being a conference champion. What do you think needs to happen for this to be considered, a successful season?
Yeah, I think, that's really good. I mean, that's why we keep our goals simple. Number 1, go undefeated at home. Number 2, win a conference championship. And then number 3 is if you win the conference championship, you have an opportunity to get in and go and play for a national championship to make the NCAA playoffs. So that's our goal. So anything shy of that, we didn't reach our goals. I don't think you can sit there and measure, just saying, hey, if you don't accomplish that, it's not a successful season. I think we really don't even really think about that or even speak of it until you can measure it, right? Like, so we'll play all 12 games, and then we'll look back and go, okay, was it or was it not successful? And I think depending on how these next 3 games play out, that's a lot of football, right? There's 3 football games, and man, there's a lot of things that can happen between now and then that can determine, hey, was it a successful season or was it not?
And you mentioned a little bit about them, but what else do you think kind of jumps out about Austin Peay?
Obviously, they have a new coaching staff, and they're coming off tremendous success. So they've been used to winning. Anytime you have a championship pedigree, they understand how to win games and close games, and they've won some close games this year. And so they're going to have great pride in what they do as well. So because why? They're the defending conference champions, and somebody's got to win the championship for them for that not to be the reality. So I just think that they're a very well coached football team. They don't make a lot of mistakes, and put themselves in bad positions. So I think the biggest thing for us is we are focusing on us and becoming a more consistent football team, continue to eliminate explosive plays on defense, and then offensively maintain that consistency of the way that we started that game and play 4 quarters of football like that. And if we do, we're hard to beat.
throughout the course of the year, J.J. Henry has slowly had kind of slow growth behind some of the other guys and had kind of a breakout game. What have you seen from his work and his growth through this year?
Yeah, it's just, I think the biggest thing is, he excels when people try to cover him in man. And that's where he's so explosive. I think, again, he's just another one of those weapons that we have on offense. I mean, you start focusing on Nehemiah Martinez, and you got J.J. Henry, and you got Hut Graham, and you got, you've seen on the outside with Blaine and Javon and Trey back. I mean, I just don't know how you defend, how you pick and choose who to try to defend. And again, I think it just goes back to Maverick of, taking what what defenses are giving him, and it's just leading to different playmakers making plays at the right time of a game.
You talked about how many weapons you have. None of your tight ends recorded a catch on Saturday. Is that a matchup thing or just kind of how it works?
I think it just kind of goes back to take what the take what the defense gives you, and I think that's where Maverick's been in real great command of our offense all season long, and he's not trying to force it. Just because our tight ends haven't got involved in the game, I think it's just kind of how it plays out. I don't think it's anything that they necessarily were doing other than, whether it be schematically on defense or it's just Maverick taking what's given to him.
2 conference games left, 14 days from a conference championship. What's your message to your guys down the home stretch here?
Yeah, one day at a time. I mean, do what we can do today to focus on improving, and then we talked to our team that it's all about preparation. It's all about Secret being in the dirt and going out tomorrow on Tuesday, and we implement the game plan on those Tuesdays, and then it's about going out and refining it on Wednesday and continue to refine it on Thursday, and you just take one day at a time. You don't look to the left, you don't look to the right, you don't look past anyone. You just go out and do every single thing that you can in your preparation, taking care of your body and getting your mind right to go and compete. And it's just all really about this game, and take it day by day. Go out and compete at a high level on Saturday.
Played the last home game of the season, or as of right now, last home game of the season. What's your message to the fans after going forward?
Yeah, I just want to thank. I mean, we had a really strong year when it comes to attendance and support. Just want to say thank you to the fans, and we're going to do every single thing we can to compete over the course of the next 3 weeks and see how it all shakes out. And again, it's just you can't start looking ahead. You can't start talking about this week, next week. Everything has got to be about Austin Peay, and we have great respect for them. They're the defending conference champions, so you have to go on the road and win that game, or none of it really matters. You cannot start looking ahead. You just have to focus on what's directly in front of us, and that's what's in front of us right now.
Can you explain why the middle screen has been so successful for you guys?
Yeah, I think people have to try to expand coverage. I mean, we stretch people horizontally and we stretch people vertically. And I think, man, it just opens up the middle of the field. And then when you get the ball into dynamic playmakers, Sam Hicks, you give him the ball with space and you got problems. I think that's probably my best answer. I mean, I know that would be a problem for us playing, if we had to play our own team, is, man, we're going to do everything we can, because you got to defend the 2 outside guys, and then you got to be able to manage the slots as well. And then also while trying to stop the run. I mean, we've been running the ball effectively the last 3 weeks, at home, and we got to do the same thing on the road. We got to be able to run the football, and if we do that, now people just have to pick and choose. How do you manage all this? But yeah, that was really good. The timing of the play call was very good as well, and I just think that the biggest thing I would notice is just you have to try to expand your coverage as well as the challenge of also while trying to stop the run.